Pindo on the beat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's show. This is Newsflash. Thank you for joining us here today. We got a great show for you today, as always, and my name is Spencer Walsh. Of course, we have Glenn Bradford with us today. Just want to take a quick moment to promote something for later tonight for the win. With me and Zach Leftholtz, new episode tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So that'll be very fun. And, of course, really appreciate that you would go check that out. So, anyway, yes, once again, Glenn Bradford here with us. We now turn again to John Tester furious President Trump on Saturday called for the resignation of the Democratic senator who assembled and released what he had called false allegations that scuttled the White House doctor who had been in line to lead the Department of Veterans Affairs. And the funny thing is about this, we all kind of knew in the beginning that he wasn't Jackson was not qualified for this position as leading the VA, and we need someone who's very good at management to lead the VA. He was not qualified, but then we found out he was kind of a little bit of an alcoholic. So there is that, and so it's a very good thing that Jon Tester did what he did, just for the sake of our veterans, if we think about it, across this country, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. There had been stories from military personnel who had worked under Admiral Jackson, who came forward to the committee to tell them stories about the hostile work environment that he put them under, the lack of leadership, the sucking up to superiors. There was stories about him dispensing all kinds of medical pills, and then the stories about his drunkenness on the job, especially on overseas assignments.
Yeah, they were all very disturbing at one point. There was the story, obviously, when he was asleep on the job when President Barack Obama needed some medical assistance. And, there are so many questions surrounding this. And some of the blame, if you think about it, does kind of have to go to President Barack Obama for not taking action right then and there. It doesn't seem like a very smart thing for Obama to do, and kind of a little bit, in a way, inexplicable that we wouldn't have known about his alleged problems beforehand if they were so rampant.
Yeah, it is. Although, Jackson might have been the kind of person who acted completely differently when his superiors were around as opposed to his underlings. Uh-huh. And word may not have may not have filtered up to President Obama about this person's character, and he may not have been aware of it. And I don't think President Trump was aware of it any more than Obama was. But it's hard to dismiss when you have a couple dozen people coming out and all basically saying the same thing and corroborating each other. It's pretty powerful when you have that. So it's pretty hard to dismiss that all these things could be lies. The one thing that hasn't borne out is the story that he wrecked a government car. That seems to be false, or at least solid evidence of that hasn't come forward.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe that was covered up better than others, or maybe it is false. So we don't know. But yeah, Tester in a statement said he did not directly respond to Trump, and said he was committing to aiding veterans, which is good. At issue are allegations that Trump has said were brought to his attention by Tester had said he brought to his attention by more than 20 military and retired personnel who worked with Jackson. Tester said that not investigating them would have been a dereliction of duty, and making them public was important for the sake of transparency. I think obviously, you got to agree with them. For the importance of our veterans who have been so kind of screwed by the VA over the past couple of years, even during the Obama administration, it's very important that they get the care that they need after the time that they have served our country. And the fact that Trump doesn't realize this is, again, it's quite disturbing.
Yeah, it's really pretty shocking what the president is doing to Jon Tester. I don't recall any other president in my memory, making such a statement as Trump has about Tester, requesting that he resign over this. It's really quite amazing. But then, when you look at the politics, you can sort of see what's motivating him. Tester comes from a pretty red state that I think is Montana. Is that right?
Yes.
And which Trump won by about 20 points. And his Senate seat is coming up in November election, so he's hoping to flip that to the Republicans' way. So he's saying all kinds of stuff about Tester to try to make him lose his election. So you can understand the politics of it, but the ethics of saying of these attacks is they're really low blows. I mean, Tester was doing his job. If he hadn't done it, it would have been a dereliction of his responsibilities on that committee and for veterans all around the country. And it's just shocking to me that the president would do this. And I think if every citizen in the country understood this story fully, they would think that what the president is doing is totally wrong. But most Americans don't pay attention to the full story. They don't know all the facts of the story, and they only hear the president from his Twitter pulpit, and that's the only side they hear. And Trump knows that, so that's why he does it.
Yeah, I mean, again, that ties back to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, the importance of news and the press and the First Amendment of informing everyone about the news, the goings-on in Washington. And, I mean, this is really actually a pretty important story because it concerns everyone probably knows someone who has served and is eligible for veteran care. So, yeah, I mean, there is some, that's very important stuff. So, Trump tweeted early Saturday that the allegations are proving false. A Secret Service unable to confirm. In fact, they deny that any of the phony Democrat charges which have absolutely devastated the wonderful Jackson family. Tester should resign. And, I mean, if these allegations are proven untrue, like, conclusively, I mean, but I don't think that's very likely. But I mean, it would certainly look bad, but the fact that Trump isn't saying, like, I just can't think of any other president who would handle this serious allegations by calling on someone to resign here. It just seems like, again, quite nonsensical.
Yeah, exactly. I don't recall any other president, going to these lengths to attack a sitting senator so unfairly, so unjustly. But the problem is we've gotten used to Trump talking like this.
Yes,
and it's really damaging this country, and it's very disturbing.
Yeah, I mean, when we have another president who comes in here, it'll be like, whoa. And if they act somewhat normally, it'll be like, wow, what is this? What's happening to us here? I mean, or maybe the expectations will be lowered back up again. It's just kind of like or raised back up to where they were before. So it's maybe like they are, hopefully America understands, like, they're dealing with kind of the problem child and they have to treat him carefully. And all the norms he breaks will come up to reestablish. But that definitely is a lot to hope for from the entire mood and perception of the country.
Yeah, and for the citizens who are paying attention to what Trump is doing and see through his rhetoric, these are the people who are really motivated. I mean, this is why you see so many people protesting and so many people showing up to marches. The opposition to him is red hot. I mean, it's on fire.
Yeah.
And you just have to hope that the Democrats really turn out in the midterm elections and turn this thing around, because we need the House to be back in Democrat control so that we can reopen the Russia collusion investigation in the House and have it be run by Adam Schiff instead of Devin Nunes. And we're going to see a completely different Washington when the Democrats take over Congress again. And if they can take over the Senate too, that would be very helpful as well.
Yeah, let's hope so, and let's hope they push They pushed fairly and harshly for this Russia collusion investigation. We'll get the answers on that, and let's hope they fight the president on other turns where it is sensible to fight, and let's hope they don't cave, and let's hope they just